Ro.32.
It's my turn now.
(2019) Mountain Dew GSL Season 2. Codex Renaissance.
Welcome back to the GSL Codex. We've got Solar versus Hurricane coming up next. We saw Classic just utterly smash True back there. I mean,
it was one of the most one-sided matches we've seen in a very, very, very long time.
I don't feel like True brought anything. He basically just made some units and then Classic beat the hell out of him. And
he
here we
smashed him from A to Z.
Yeah.
From Adepts to Zerg. The game was Classics.
He even went past the Z. He went to characters in different alphabets and different symbols and letters and numbers.
Yeah, I'm a True fan, but that was
hard to watch, man. Yeah. Let's see if this next match is going to be a little bit better. Solar, easily one of the best Zergs out there. Certainly higher success rate than True here.
Yeah, yep. Solar has been one of the top Zergs many, many times. I feel like he's been just slightly below that. I don't really group him with Dark, Rogue, and Sue anymore. I group him just below that. He's almost on like a tier of his own that like Impact is looking at from the side. You know, he just hasn't been doing as well lately in the last couple of years. But I mean, he's incredibly consistent. He's always around. He's always someone that can beat anyone.
Yeah.
But this guy here is starting to show some good games. You know, he's a guy that shows up in Codes from time to time. People say he's good. Obviously, he's very good in practice and all that. But he had some great games against Rogue in Super Tournament. Really great games. He some of the best that we've seen.
Yeah, it was very refreshing to see him playing like that. I mean, he's been around for a long time. He's obviously a very accomplished player, a very smart player, but he's here now. Let's see how he does against Solar this time around. Again, the winner is going to go up against Classic in the winner's match. Classic may be the best person who's still in the GSL Codex right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go to game one between these two players, Solar and Hurricane.
게임이 시작됩니다.
Triumphant Song Gaming. Solar.
Honeymoon Dessert. That is a great sponsor.
What?
Hurricane.
One of Triumphant Song Gaming's things that it says on the jacket is Honeymoon Dessert.
Oh, I got to get me some honeymoon dessert.
You gotta get married first, Asus.
Yeah. Do I, though?
That's a good question.
All right. Some classic support from Australia. That's a cute little baby.
That is so cute. That's what you need to do with your kids, is teach them StarCraft early.
That's right. They won't get bullied by all the nerds at school.
Certainly not.
Wow, I didn't realize how one-sided the history was here. Overall, throughout all of StarCraft history here, 9-1. Solar has basically never lost to Hurricane. Wow. But, again, we saw Hurricane playing pretty damn well just recently here. So, I mean, maybe Hurricane can nullify the results that we're already seeing here. I mean, if you take that many games, okay, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to be easy for him, but it's a different day, and he certainly is looking a lot stronger. So maybe we'll see something happen here. I didn't realize it was that one-sided, though.
Well, for completely recent results, I mean, they were both in Super Tournament, but Hurricane did much better. So,
yeah,
you know, I could definitely see Hurricane taking out Solar here. I'm not really worried about that 7-0 that's occurred. It's just I guess what we're looking for is if Hurricane's going to play well, because it seems like he chokes a bit. It seems like a mentality type of issue because his best games look extremely high-end.
Yeah, he seems to be one of our more yippy players.
More yippy players.
He's a little
Explain
bit more
this to me,
yippy
please.
up there. He gets the yips when he's on stage. He's a little bit more nervous, a little bit more wiggly, a little bit more anxious than a lot of these other guys that some of the best players you have out there, they don't really feel that much when they're on stage or, you know, playing in front of these big audiences.
Oh, that's hilarious. He puts the Forge in view of the Overlord, and then Overlord makes sure and checks it. Well, I've never heard a player referred to as such, Tasteless, but I will...
I got to mix it up, Artosis.
I will absolutely take that.
Gonna stay on top of my caster game here.
Yeah. Look at that, he's over the junkyard.
See, there you go. You're doing it too, Artosis. We never called that the junkyard before.
I've never seen Overlord try to hide there.
All right, is he going to get it?
What is this Overlord doing?
Well,
it's like, I'm looking for LG Gamers Bilge.
Oh!
So sick. And again, for the record, I think hallucinations should do 1 damage.
Okay, finally the Overlord is picked up. There's a Robo coming down here, more gateways as well. We've got Zerg on 3 bases here. I think Solar got a very good read early on everything that was happening back there.
Nothing like bad has happened to Hurricane. It took him a bit to get that. The hallucination stayed around way too long and isn't going to get a full scout off, unfortunately. That's kind of funny. Sees a Roach Warren. Doesn't get to see the lair. Well, it seems like Hurricane is just going for, well, just an Immortal Century push eventually here. That +1 being chronoed.
I love the fake War Prism. I love it. Before the Robo's
well, why
even
don't
done.
you marry it and get some honeymoon dessert?
Nice. I was actually going to try to figure out some kind of joke to get that.
And here's the thing. You don't even got to worry about it, Tasteless, because the hallucination will eventually run out. You can probably eat its dessert as well. You get 2 honeymoon desserts at that point. And you can collect on the life insurance.
That's true. So the fact that he did the fake War Prism is really smart, because that would totally make the Zerg miscalculate when the gateways are coming out. So actually this build here, the strategy overall from Hurricane is actually pretty sick. The question is Solar going to be caught off guard by this? I mean, how many times have we seen great Protoss players try to trip up somebody like Solar?
Many times?
Yeah, you're right. You nailed it, Artosis. You're just acing this oral quiz that we've got going on here. And the question is this going to be one of those moments where you can throw him off? I think this is probably one of the better techniques that Hurricane could try to employ here. Now we just got to see if Solar's ready and how exactly he's going to try to deal with this, because it's more than clear now that is also not a hallucinated War Prism. This is the real deal. And
That's
right
hallucinated Zealots, though. Gosh, he's using a lot of hallucinations.
Oh my God, I actually almost didn't notice that.
Yeah, he never ended up getting an Immortal either.
Monitor here. The funny thing, though, is I guess hallucinated Zealots in a weird way can soak up some more damage and maybe be utilized more effectively than force fields in some cases, I guess.
Yeah, they definitely have some use. No question.
The other thing is, I don't know if you're going to be checking right away to see if those are fake, right?
No, it's really hard to tell if they're fake, actually, as the Zerg player.
Yeah,
There's so much damage coming out. Wow.
Sick.
GG.
I really like the hallucinated Zealots.
Yeah, and it makes actually Solar a lot more scared even, and might make him misjudge when and where to engage.
Here's the other thing too, Artosis. I don't know if Solar really fully understands what just happened to him there in that strategy. You know, it's not like you lose that game and you know, it's like a James Bond villain. They tell you exactly what their evil plan was all along.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't have time to check the replay. He's not necessarily going to know that. And it wouldn't occur to me, I think, or almost anybody in that moment to say, how many of those Zealots are real?
Well, it's certainly not. We never see that. But if Hurricane is a gentleman like Huck, maybe he'll tell them that they were hallucs at the beginning of this next game.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go into game 2. Right now, Hurricane's just 1 win away from going on to the winner's match, even though it's hard to imagine Hurricane beating Classic. I'd much prefer to try to face off against Classic and let these other guys cannibalize each other in the loser's match.
Yeah. Let them have a dirty ZVZ and whoever comes up, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Cyber Forest is going to be our map for game number 2 with these two. Again, Classic is waiting in the winner's match to face off against the victor of this best of 3.
게임이 시작됩니다.
You know, this music that we have that leads into it, is like almost ironic, but not quite.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Triumphant Song Gaming. Solar.
It's like very close to like being ironic about itself
Yeah.
without doing that. And I'm like, I don't know if I hate this music or just dislike this music.
Yeah, it's like it's halfway to parody.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
I feel almost as though this is the music that's supposed to play when I get shrunken down and pulled inside of a pinball machine, and then I'm in that reality.
Almost.
But it was a TV show that was made by people that don't really like games or care about them, and all they know is Atari. You know?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down, guys. So, really cool opening here for Hurricane.
Yeah, the amount of hallucinations was pretty wild.
Hallucinated War Prism, and then
2 of them.
Yeah, and then the hallucinated Zealots, which, you know, in a moment where we spend so much time kind of regarding sentries as these things that can attack, but mainly they just make force fields, to see them make the fake Zealots in a fight like that and see, you know, basically all the Zealots
It's a lot of health. Yeah.
tank the damage. And again, it's hard to check and see if Zealots are fake in a big fight like that. There's a lot of things that the Zerg has to do very quickly.
Yeah.
And you're not clicking on individual units and then clicking on your own and trying to see.
It's a frantic moment.
So, really cool stuff here. I feel like we're seeing Hurricane level up. We've had this in the last 2 days of GSL as well, where these players who are normally like Star Trek extras, the guys that die when they go to the new planet so all the main characters can live on into the next episode. Instead, these guys are actually coming out and many times looking stronger than even former tournament champions.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're GSL extras. They're the players that are around so that we can have a player like Maro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you know, like when...
The GSL jobbers.
yeah.
The GSL jabronis.
When you get enough players together, the top one's going to look better and better based on how many other ones that there are, right?
Yeah. So we've got a Robo-Bay coming down here. Again, unlike a lot of other games that happen at StarCraft, it's not clear if Solar even picked up on every single thing that Hurricane did in that last game.
Yeah, he probably did not.
And the nature of tournaments like GSL is that we hurl the player into the second game. I mean, players are allowed to request a break. I'm actually not sure on the exact specifics of that because we usually get a player that requests a break.
After a long game.
After a long game. And usually what they do is they just go to the restroom and you know, do their business or splash water on their face or, you know, go stretch. But then occasionally they'll request a break, but then just kind of sit there and try to meditate for a minute or two and kind of pull it back together. But a Solar took no such break at all there. And again, that strategy, even after you've lost to it, still it can be a lot of ambiguity for the loser on exactly how that went down. So I'm curious to see what Solar's mentality is, because if he hasn't picked up on that, he may be genuinely confused by the number of units that appeared in front of him in that attack.
Yeah, that definitely could be. Well, let's see how he plays it differently. Like, this is the build he's going for right now. He has the Robo. He is starting to make some sentries here. And looks like he's going to go Overlord hunting a little bit. Solar has that Overlord in a good spot. I don't think you can get it. But Solar going up into his Roach Warren now. And look, there is an Immortal on the way. He did not actually make an Immortal in the last game.
It's going to come out now. And see if he does a little bit of harass over here. The Roach Warren nearing completion.
Shade in. See what he can get done.
So far, not much. Looks like he might be able to... Oh, not even getting that drone. Okay, 1 kill there. But he saves it.
Yeah, going to be able to get out. Sinking Immortal on the way. Looks like he's continuing onwards. With the Forge and Twilight coming up, this has to mean third base. You don't just make those and you're like, okay, I'm going to start Glaives and +1 and attack. It's like, no. We should be seeing a third. And then maybe a very powerful attack. Those roaches are being made a little bit. I like moves like this, where you shade in the Adepts and then just pick them up with Prism. I really like this type of harassment.
Yeah, and you're not over-investing here. If these are killed off, it's not really the end of the world here. And you can see he's getting a very modest amount of drones, but you know, we've seen plenty of games where Protosses send in these big waves of Adepts, and yeah, they do kill some workers, but overall, the number of adepts you lost, you're actually in a deficit. You've gotten no such lead. And so this is
Armor?
also, wait, what?
That's interesting.
Oh, wow.
So he's it has to just be charged that he's going to start upgrading.
And Glaves is coming here.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? This is the most exciting thing all day by far. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second, right? If you're getting armor and glaives, that means that just, yeah, and I guess it makes sense, the plus attack to the adepts, which are going to be most of his army, that doesn't really make a difference against roaches.
Right.
Whereas the armor does. That's really fascinating. I love seeing things like this, because normally you only think about armor first with like Zealots with charge in against Terrans specifically, because Marines shoot so quickly.
Generally, when you see an armor build coming out here, that upgrade over an attack, especially from Protoss, it means it has to hit at a specific time. Generally. And so we're probably going to see that moment happen.
Yeah, armor upgrades don't scale like attack upgrades.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, and then later on I go armor 2 and then armor 3 and then I lose in the late game. Yeah, that's
only against Terran.
Yeah, so in this moment, we see the attack's going to come out here. Again, as armor finishes, this may be another fuzzy math moment here for Solar, where he might not even click on them to check for the armor, and suddenly he's losing the fight and going, what?
You know, I think he'll figure out that it's armor relatively quickly. Like, it is possible he doesn't click, but yeah, I mean, this is so interesting. Oh my god, I love this. Okay, good force fields going on these. Ooh, the Bile's landing a little bit there. Starting
Okay. Protoss needs to force their way through here. No hallucinations this time around, but this is a lot of damage being dished out here. The problem is these adept glaives, if they connect, and a lot of them are, I mean, oh my god, he lost the Warp Prism. I was about to say that Warp Prism is a little bit too close. Now there's Lynx winning in this counterattack, but is there too much damage? Can this army simply snowball their way through here, destroying everything in its path?
Well, the longer he hems and haws right there, the less likely that is.
He's kind of going back and forth. He's a little bit unsure of himself. You really need to commit one way or the other. In this case, he's going to go for the third instead of the natural. I wonder if the natural maybe would have been a better choice, considering if he takes that out, he screws up all waypoints from there on out.
I guess this way he can't be flanked from two different directions as easily. So chooses that third base. It does have a lot of drones at it. He's starting to kill quite a few drones, but he did lose his third during this.
Okay, I believe all the sentries are out of energy, correct?
Just about.
Just about. We're seeing these kind of weird force fields that make the roaches move over to the side. But to be honest, man, I actually think that Hurricane's done it again. Solar never got to play the game he planned for. GG.
What an awesome, awesome build that was.
That was something really special.
He lost the Prism and still ended up winning, but the armor, I'm just so fascinated by. That's super cool.
What else does Hurricane have planned today?
I almost guarantee you that will catch on. Like, that looks to me like something that it's like, as you'd never think of that really, but when someone does it, someone's going to do some math on this and be like, oh yeah, that's a very reasonable upgrade right there.
Guys, those of you watching, look at this. Solar is just...
So our losers match coming up here. ZVZ Solar.
Winners match coming up.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I'm just saying Solar's in the losers match, kind of an
so
upset.
crazy. We're going to go to a quick break, guys. When we come back, we're going to advance one of these two players, either Classic or Hurricane.